Fred, Ava Riskina, Chantel Dorrington, Zuza Cohen, Fishki Heritage, Alberto Benjamin, Mirjam Rajan, Zena Steiner, Hirsch Dutish, Pintas Horowitz, Elise Cohen, Zena Coxton, Nina Beecher, Gessel Ginsberg, Mechel Vago, Linda
These are
Miller,
8th graders from school reading
Tommy
the names of the
Hawkins,
victims.
Each one of these butterflies represents a child who died during the Holocaust.
Right.
Is that correct?
A lot of them have dedications to a particular child.
And we're listening to the names of these children?
The names of children.
Of children.
Yeah, of dead parents.
So the students were given a little biography of each child that whoever their butterfly was.
Right.
They got
the
to
students that were 4th through 12th grade were. Now, if they were under 4th grade, then we did a diversity appreciation exercise where they just worked together. They're too young to learn about the Holocaust, so
Right.
these kids.
So these would be the little ones.
Yeah.
Walter Kramer, Sarah Finkelstein,
If you see any in particular you want to point out,
Yeah.
I'm going to do that. And the idea is we're to feel the way these kids would have felt going into the concentration camps.
Definitely, it's the juxtaposition between the horror of the camp with the beauty surrounding it.
Yeah.
The butterflies are all on the outside and more on the inside.
Mila Kustanovic, Vaga Madra Ovis, Rika.
The idea is to personalize the victims so that they're not just lumped together as one big group of people from a different time and a different place in the world that died, but people that they can relate to, and just humanizes it more.
Right. And they talk, while they were doing this project, did they talk about the way they can prevent this from happening today, even in their own schools?
Right. So there's a conversation that followed the designing of the butterflies that would include, again, at the 4th or 5th to 12th grade level, discussions on contemporary genocide and genocide prevention. Check out this one.
Yeah.
Blood dripping from the swastika. An interesting thing is we did get a lot of butterflies that depicted swastikas because I think that's the way that they learned about it.
They identify with the swastikas.
Yeah, as the evil force that they were depicting in their butterflies, but it was a little shocking at first to see something.
Yeah. Especially, today that we still have these groups, white supremacist groups who use, here's a beautiful one with the Star of David. And this one, Maryland.
See, that was probably one of the younger kids. So they sat, they paired the kids up, and they compared the things that were similar. Each child compared what was similar and what was different with the pair, and then they designed their butterflies for the other child.
Yeah.
So it was much more about diversity than it was.
Here's an interesting. So this is Judith Schwartz or Schway. She was 12 years old when she died. She was, this kid even said she was gassed upon arrival at Auschwitz.
She was an A+ student.
She was an A+ student. So the kids really, the older ones at least, really got into the history, and this personalizes these kids.
Yeah, the idea being, of course, if you relate to victims, then it's much harder to stand by and let something like that her,
Right,
if you see these people as people you can relate to.
David.
Look at this one.
Freddie Goldstein, Joseph Farkas,
Some of them
Yeah.
are pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty, if I can get this, that these children think they're going to the shower. Yeah, and this is obviously done by a younger child too.
Hannah Goldzinger,
I don't know what age that group was. I can't remember what all the. There's so many schools that
Yeah, and
participated.
then there's a date here, November of 1940.
Alla Zalke, Sibi Sherwitz, Tibby Sherwitz, Isaiah
That's a beautiful one.
Ola Rentenberg, Philip Worms, Oma Major, Earl Perskowitz, Rivka.
Some of these kids really, yeah, they really put a lot of effort into their butterflies.
Frisch, Shia Elborn, Tamara
Yeah.
Hecker,
Interesting, this one has,
Ainsley,
looks like a gun on it.
Frederick Axel,
And the woods,
Rosa
there's an angel.
Miriam Blue, Tuvia Snur, Laszlo Goldston, Joseph Rock, Maya Akeley, Percy Senderowitz, Jana Metter, Gianna Sturkowski,
Siegfried Heinzel, Naha Kapinski, Vega Wilson, Leopold.
This one says, "Rest in peace, youngest Italian partisan shot."
Carmen Buber, Bella,
Which is interesting that they teach these kids that it was all over Europe, that people were persecuted.
Chaim Rolas, Manya.
In fact, this one, if I can get a good video, it almost looks like the world. I mean, he's got the continent, the countries, and in the center you have the brick walls of the concentration camp,
And a child
holding a teddy bear on the outside or inside.
Hava Yanko Kapolos,
Already Kunia, I walk once, Frenya, all life friends, Moshe, Ushja,
Yeah, this is a beautiful one.
Eva, Barry, Elizabeth,
Heinrich Kornfeld.
Louis, Lisa, Mayor, Ryan, Austin, Errol, Akira, Lumet, Jihan, West, Eti, Arsi, Yitzhak, Ajin, Rachel, Ajin, Adele,
Yeah.
Izia, Israel, and Joti,
Jacob Goss, Ina
And the names are being read by Austin school children?
Yeah.
In the,
Jankel Dorothy,
This,
Susa Coder,
This one's nice. This one, the biography must have said something about the childlike piano.
Mirjam,
And some of the children at one school did 6-word memoirs on the back of their butterfly. 6 words as a message or
Elise Coder,
or just a memoir of that person's life, and they said some really pithy things.
Mekil Bago Linda Miller,
how many butterflies are here?
Tommy
So there's about, including the origami butterflies, there's about 10,500.
Emmanuel,
And how many children died?
1.5 million.
So we have 1% of the children,
Less than 1.
less than
1/10 of
1%. And you can see that how many this is, just representing that few number of children, that how, what a huge impact.
Maria Jala, Mashlika Orlovskia, Erich Pioneer, Ayla Cheshlovskia, Mazda
This one says
Slavpak, Chaim
Maria Nemeth, she was 13.
Mikhail
There is life
Minkria Hopek,
Over
Walter
child
Craner,
and a
Sarah
tear
Ingleside
behind every death.
with friend.
She was
Eva
12
Rocket.
years old,
Jaka
13.
Gatek. Belinka Lecker. Nila Kolos.
Here's another one, Joseph
Genji
Vilt.
Herska.
He must have loved
Isaac
piano.
Fagenbaum. David Ebenholt.
And they
Maza
actually
Zaaja.
depicted his death as well
One
as
of them was a tailor.
Kustanovich.
I
Vaga
like to sew.
Madra Ovitz. Rika Trelichman. Chanel Surrell.
Look at this one.
Hydra Mach Abansky. Dorota
that's pretty
Sakura.
impressive.
Miron
And here we have, yeah, this one has, this is really interesting because this one has depicted that whole language and that was used to make, turn people against the Jewish population.
And the
It has a
symbols.
swastika and the symbols, yeah, with the, looks like an insect or a bug, and it says above it, Jews.
They're cockroaches.
And
Which is the same language that's
swastika.
used in, like was used against the Tutsis in the Rwanda genocide. They called them cockroaches to build up that
that dehumanized.
animosity and dehumanization against them.
Sarah Fleischman.
Matthew, he has a great family.
She Frank.
This one,
Yana Lucan. Anya Galbraki.
Krapolinus.
Lina Kafuz.
Yeah, these kids did a great job.
Sammy Berkovich. Jakal Bratow.
Exactly.
Julia Ilkovis.
He's got numbers. Do you think those are tattoos?
I don't know.
Numbers or
Menahem
It's really interesting. Artistic style too.
the one done with yarn?
Elijah Fles. Harry Couchin. Brownie Torres.
How long did these kids have to create their butterflies?
Joseph
Yeah, I talked to
and John.
I got to present to a number of schools throughout the fall, and so I mean, the curriculum itself just was a 2 or 3 hour exercise.
Nick and Scott. Kate
But many of the schools expanded on it and brought it to different departments, and they coordinated, reading exercises. One of the schools wrote their lawmakers about genocide prevention. So they kind of took it in different directions, which was really cool, and I didn't even know about it until after.
Shim's King. Garfield Burriskin. Elena Sargoid. Monique Bogoman.
And then
Alexander Friedman.
we leave with
Cameron
the poem that this was inspired by.
Delovich. Yutia Lominger. Moradenicia Urwich. Freddie Goldstein. Joseph Farkas. Xylelica Gerwin.
And the last but
Judith Ginsburg. Cesar Zomovitz.